I'm quick to tell my friends, girl, you need to rest, take a day off, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But when it comes to me, we are gonna go to the wheels fall off. You can't do that anymore. Your body doesn't like it. Stop it. I'm radically pursuing my happiness and my peace. And to care for yourself and to show yourself that you care about you is not a waste of time. You are not a waste of your own time, okay? Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. My bun is giving very much so off skew. I'm so sorry. It was meant to be in the center, but my arms got tired, so it's giving side bun. It has been such a long time since we did a chit chat get ready with me, and I wanted to do one finally now that I've got a new mic. Look at my baby hairs, please. I'm trying to keep up with the girls, you know, trying to keep up. I hope that you are all doing really good. I wanted to talk today about burnout. As you may have seen on my community tab recently, well, not recently, about a month ago, I posted that I wanted to get to a consistent filming schedule, and it felt really good to create again. But unfortunately, I had burnt out, and burnout has unfortunately become a very familiar feeling to me this year and last, to be honest, girl, for the last 3 years. Burnout has been a very familiar feeling, and somebody commented that I should talk about like the burnout and how I recover from it and stuff. So I'm finally getting around to it, because after a week of resting from burnout and just taking a break from work and things like that, I got a cold. Yeah, I got a cold, and it was the nail in the coffin, really, wasn't it? So wow, I haven't done my eyebrows first in such a long time. Everything that I am using will be in the description box. I'm pretty much going to do my simple foundation routine and a simple eye look, because I want to try graphic liner today. So yes, burnout. I knew I was burnt out because I literally, firstly, everything in my body ached. I was in a lot of like physical pain just from tiredness. You know, when you're so tired mentally and emotionally, it starts to manifest physically. And unfortunately, I was actually not paying attention to the signs that I was like mentally drained. When I'm mentally drained, I typically find it hard to just think straight. I often start like forgetting things very easily, becoming extremely forgetful, not being able to keep a straight train of thought, and becoming extremely like overwhelmed with my own thoughts. So it almost feels like my brain becomes cluttered. But yeah, physically I started to feel extremely tired, and just like physical aches and pains, which were so much more than just like your typical gym aches and pains. Basically, I was finding it hard to get out of bed, and for somebody who likes to be productive and who has quite a hectic lifestyle, that can easily turn into frustration with myself. You know, like if I wake up in the morning and my body is telling me, girl, you cannot go anywhere, you've been pushing me to my limits for the last, few weeks, and I'm forcing you to take some time off, I become frustrated. I become extremely frustrated because I'm used to ignoring those signs. And unfortunately, when you're burnt out, it's like your body comes to a place where it's like, yo, you're not going to ignore me anymore. And unfortunately, but fortunately, my body had come to that stage. Obviously, the immediate thing is take some time off from work. But I think one of the key things about burnout and overworking to really realize is you can be, to a degree, so productive that you are unproductive, or you become unproductive, in the sense that you're pushing yourself well past the amount that you have fueled yourself. So for example, if you have a car and a car is driving, obviously a car is meant to be driven. It's meant to take you from point A to B, but it cannot take you further than it has fuel and then it has petrol, gas in its tank. If you try to push your car well past its capacity according to the amount of fuel it has, so if you run out of gas or if you run out of petrol, what's your car going to do? It's going to stop. And if you keep trying to push your car further than its limits now that it's completely empty, your car is going to malfunction, because a huge part of its functionality, a huge part of its operation has been compromised. It has no gas. So my body had kind of got to this place where it's like, okay, I'm running on E, blink the light. She needs to fill up on rest. She needs to fill up on nutrition. She needs to basically take a break and refuel in whatever way possible. And I was just ignoring that I was ignoring that warning to refuel with rest. And instead, I kept pushing my body and it stopped. So, and thank God it didn't stop in a really drastic way. It just meant I had to take a couple of days off from work. But I have gel like all over my ears. But it did feel like this is a huge inconvenience, because it was. And if you don't schedule in rest, your body is going to pick an inconvenient time to rest, because it needs to. Rest is something that's essential to us as human beings. But I was trying to be so productive, but it was in the most unproductive way. And I think a lot of us are, having conversations about divorcing ourselves and learning to take ourselves away from toxic hustle culture. And there's actually a To My Sisters episode on this. If you don't know, if you're new around here, myself and my best friend co-host an amazing podcast called the To My Sisters podcast, where we have transparent and candid conversations about pretty much everything. So I would highly recommend that you go and join the sisterhood by checking it out. But we have an episode pretty early on about hustle culture, and a lot of us are starting to divorce ourselves from the mentality that you have to basically work till you're dead, or like work super hard to the point where you're unable to really function well in order to see results in work or business or whatever it may be for you. And I'm one of the biggest, I'm a really bad perpetrator sometimes of hustle culture to myself. I'm quick to tell my friends, girl, you need to rest, take a day off, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But when it comes to me, we are going to go to the wheels fall off. And that is a really, really bad mentality to have, because once the wheels fall off, girl, I mean, we've just gone into that car analogy. It's never a good look and it never feels good. But oftentimes for me, because resting comes with so much guilt. And you know what? Let's actually talk about how I got to that place. Obviously, as you guys know, if you've been following my journey, I forgot to wet my beauty sponge, but girl, I ain't got time, so it's gonna have to be a dry something. If you've been following my journey, then you know that I did not blend this foundation well. If you've been following me for a while, then you've obviously seen that when I graduated from uni, I started a business straight away, and it was great, but it meant that I was really hustling to try and make things work, to try and prove to myself that I hadn't made the wrong decision of, instead of, taking my graduate job offer, starting a business. And it meant that I was pushing myself well past my limits, working. When you work like not a conventional job, but when you work a job, you have work hours, you have hours when you're in the office, and yes, you can do overtime. Yes, you can stay behind the office to get work done. But, if people see you in the office depending on where you work, but if people see you in the office at like midnight or at 1 a.m., they're going to tell you, no, babes, go home. We're not trying to have you sue us for improper labor. But for me to be at work at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6, not leaving to go home became normal, because I was trying to prove to myself, and to a degree prove to others, that I was as effective, as productive, and as successful as they were, despite my unconventional choice. And I think a lot of us are kind of fueled by those insecurities sometimes, that people are going to overtake us, or people are going to be more successful than us, or feelings like we have to prove ourselves to the people in our lives, to the people that see us and watch us, because we want to live up to their expectations. But more importantly, to a degree, we want to live up to the expectations that we set ourselves to be productive, and society's expectations to be a productive, fruitful person. But sometimes that fruitfulness comes at a very unhealthy cost if you don't really work on your relationship with work. And I wasn't working on my relationship with work. I was just working. And I think it's very dangerous to do that straight out of university, because I had never worked full time per se. Whilst I had done side hustles and I had worked whilst I was studying, I had worked in like seasonal periods. I had never worked full time. Obviously, this was my entry into the working world and into adulting. And, I was all guns blazing. And I didn't really talk to anybody and nobody really told me that, girl, what you're doing is basically unsustainable. And I think I'm basically suffering those consequences. So yeah, I'm trying my absolute best to find a new balance of work and a new relationship with work and rest, and a synergy between them. Because really and truly, resting, eating well, taking time for yourself, recharging, having a weekend, as normal as it sounds, is really important to you being productive. And I think for me, oftentimes those things felt as though, this is so unproductive. It's a Sunday, why am I not working? It's a Saturday, why am I not working? Or, I've got energy at 1 a.m. and instead of forcing myself to sleep, I would do work. And I talked about this recently not talked about this, but I asked recently on Instagram about people's thoughts on a video that I reposted about balancing, toxic hustle culture and divorcing it with the need for hard work. Because I still believe in hard work. I still believe in, making the necessary sacrifices. And I think a lot of us are coming to understand, you need to make sacrifices when it comes to advancing in your career or in business or wherever it is that you do, and whatever it is you want to thrive. But to what degree are those sacrifices actually necessary? And when do they become when do they defeat the point? If I want to be successful, I obviously want to enjoy my success, but I can't be successful and dead. Do you get what I mean? Or like, I can't be, successful if I can't even get out of my bed because I'm crippled with anxiety and fear, and I'm having breakdowns, literal breakdowns, because I'm so overwhelmed and so burnt out and my body cannot function. Then success cannot be kept up with, it cannot be sustained, it cannot even be pursued. And that's what I'm starting to really learn. And this year, I really wanted to emphasize rest. I really wanted to emphasize being guilty about resting. And I guess that kind of brings me to talk about this year and how this year has gone, because I did tell myself, this year, I'm going to rest more. This year, I'm going to take more time to understand my career and kind of play around a little bit in different things. And it's already July. Like, mid-year check-in, sis. How are you? Because I cannot believe that we are this far into the year this quickly. And it's just, as we get older, time just flies and you start to deep. You don't have time to be saying tomorrow I'll do this, next month I'll do that, because it will just come like a thief in the night. And I really do want to hit pause, but then at the same time, it's like you can't, time waits for no man. So at the end of the day, you've just got to get it together a lot quicker than you did before. And so now I'm here looking at July thinking, okay, we've got another 6 months of the year. How am I going to actually achieve my goals? And I think going into this year, because my main aim was to rest and stuff, and because my mind was so drained, that's why I had to go to Ghana, because I was just so tired. I didn't really set like clear goals. I just said, let me spend the first, Q1, possibly Q2, just resting, just resetting a bit, and just finding balance. I constantly felt a bit on edge, and I wanted to defeat that feeling and just get back to feeling grounded, so that I could think straight about my goals and look at what was really in my life, be grateful for it, and then really plan, and really aspire for new things. And I feel like I've kind of, got a grip on what is in front of me. That burnout that happened a few weeks ago that I was just referring to, it was a blip. I really do think it was a blip, and it was mainly because of disorganization and stuff like that. But I look at this year and how this year has gone, and it's been filled with so many blessings. So I've got two mirrors. There's one here and there's one here. That's why I'm looking everywhere but at you. But I know you're gorgeous. I feel like I've gotten a hold of things, and I'm really enjoying that, very much so. But now I'm ready to actually set clear goals, as they say, SMART goals, SMART goals, woo, and really execute them and pursue them. And it's still halfway through the year, and I don't feel guilty about that. And I kind of want to encourage you. Sorry, I felt like my bun was coming undone. I really want to encourage you, sis. It's not too late. Like, one of my favorite things that I tell myself every day is, it's never too late to start again. It's never too late to rebrand. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to transform. It's never too late to restart. And I think, or start something afresh and start a new work in your life. And I think that that's one of the most beautiful things. But it's easy to feel so pressured and feel like the year is running past you, so you should just kind of follow the same tone that you've had for the first 6 months of the year. And if it's something that you're not happy with, today is a fresh new day. This is a fresh new month. Or even if you're watching this later, this is a fresh new hour. Girl, you can restart and you can reinvent yourself. Who cares if you failed yesterday? Succeed today. Forget what happened yesterday. Yesterday's gone. So I feel like this year I'm kind of resetting halfway through the year. And I'm happy with it. I'm being less hard on myself about that fact. I feel like I'm looking so glowy, so bronzy, so pretty. I'm enjoying it. Let me set the rest of my face. But yeah, I really feel like this year I've been encouraging myself to basically just hop off the hamster wheel of life, get out of bad habits and bad routines, but also be really intentional about setting new ones and making myself happy. I was talking to my friend this weekend. We went out just to have a good catch up and just paint the town red. Shout out to you, Jade. But yeah, this year I've started to embrace just being radically happy and really contending for my happiness and contending for my peace, because it's easy to just go with the wind and let life throw you about and let your job throw you about and feel as though you're not in control, but you're just, showing up for everybody else, and you're fulfilling these roles that you're not really invested in because that's what's expected of you. And in that, just let yourself completely go. And I am not doing that anymore. Like, I'm radically pursuing my happiness and my peace, my creativity, and really fulfilling purpose, and doing that intentionally with God, and doing that intentionally to obey God in the things that He's told me to do, while still loving people, while still keeping community around me and still staying connected, but really not losing myself and pouring into myself, or letting God pour into me so that I can really outpour. So yeah, I think from this whole situation, my key takeaways, I'm just bronzing, my key takeaways have really been, girl, rest is not a reward. And the thing about rest is it kind of is a reward depending on the sort of rest we're talking about. Obviously, with most things, there are, just like food, you can indulge, and then there are things you need for actual nutritional necessity, right? They are important. So there's rest that is indulgent, going on a holiday, or it's a luxury, it's not necessary, but of course you still take it because you can. And to a degree, you know, you need it just to feel as though, you know, you still have a sense of self and you're not letting yourself go and you're still treating yourself. I'm a big believer in that. But then there's also the necessary rest. There's the necessary consumption. You need rest for fuel. You need to sleep. You need to sleep. Sis, I know, like, let me talk to you. Listen, I was getting less than like 5 hours of sleep every day. You can't do that anymore. Your body doesn't like it. Stop it. You know, like my body was constantly reminding me that it is rejecting this lack of sleep. And yet I was still forcing her to stay awake. What sort of self-harm is that? And that's where I was. And I'm done with that because it's the worst thing, I think, you can tell your body, or show your body rather, is that you just don't care. You don't care. You don't care. You don't nurture it. You don't nourish it. You don't take time to be with it. You don't care. And I was constantly telling myself, I don't care. And whilst we're all out here going to therapy, learning to be better people, learning to develop so that we can be better friends and spouses or girlfriends or partners or whatever, what we don't do is improve ourselves so that we can trust ourselves better. And that was one of the main things that actually drove me to therapy. I need to know how to trust myself. Can I trust myself to show up for myself the same way I expect other people to show up for me? Oftentimes, unfortunately, the answer is absolutely not, because I don't show up for myself. I don't take time to care for myself. I don't take time to make sure that I am okay. I constantly ignore my true feelings in order to just show up. And I've decided I'm done with that. That is a huge way to get burnt out, or to feel like you've lost touch with who you really are and that you've let life kind of take over you. And I am so sorry, I'm doing everything so backwards because I should really be putting on eyeliner right now, but we move. Yeah, I'm done with that. Radical happiness. Choose it, sis. Choose it for yourself. You know, say it with me. I am choosing radical happiness and peace. I'm waiting for you to say it. Go on. Thank you. And I hope it goes well as a journey. I need to put on lashes today and I really don't want to do it. I'm not wearing individual lashes anymore because I need to give my lashes a break. But then at the same time, this duo lash glue is trying to rip out my eyelashes. It's trying to rip them out. I'm so sure of it. I'm going to use this Maybelline Fit Me blush, which I've had since I was in America in 2019. But we're not going to talk about that because the blush is still blushing. I feel so much better now, by the way. And thank you so much to everybody who checked in on me and just, you know, was in my DMs encouraging me. I really do appreciate it. I have been on Instagram a lot more, so follow me there to see like day-to-day stuff and commentary and just the dumb stuff that I get up to when I get bored at work. But I have just been taken away that you need rest, you need food. And to care for yourself and to show yourself that you care about you is not a waste of time. You are not a waste of your own time, okay? You are not a waste of your own time. You are worth every moment that you spend feeling good, whatever that may be to you, and not just looking good, but actually feeling good, mind, body, and spirit. And it's easy to deny ourselves that, but we have to hold on to it with everything that we can. Where is my lip gloss? I'm just going to put on some NYX Butter Gloss. Yes, honey. I haven't worn this one in so long. This is Ginger Snap. It's just tamed that down a bit. I'm just going to reline my lips. It's just giving a bit too pale for me. I don't even need highlighter. We're giving naturally radiant. I'm going to put on the Benefit Bad Gal Bang eyelash mascara. Then put on some eyeliner by NYX. And then I'm going to record this video actually that I'm going to be talking about, in which I'm going to be talking about finance and money and credit scores. I've done one eye already because I just wanted to make sure I could remember how to do eyeliner. I've done the wing a little bit too low for me, but we move. There's nothing else we can do really. But yeah, I'm going to take this Epic eyeliner, I think it's called that, Epic Ink Liner by NYX. And I'm going to draw on a winged line. I haven't done winged liner in literally like 3 years. So, well, really? Okay, let me just get this thing that I use for my concealer and blend that out because that is so tragic. We're gonna put the purple line on top of that, so I don't want it to just interfere too tough. But anyways, okay, there we are. I've done my basic black eyeliner and I'm going to take the Epic Wear, oh, it's a lot of Epic nicks, the Epic Wear waterproof eyeliner, and this is in the color Lilac, and this one is not a pen, it's, you'll see, basically, the applicator, but it's Lilac, and I want to basically do a graphic line and just take a picture for the gram. That's pretty much it, really. So I'm going to... I don't know why I brought this so in. This purple line shouldn't have gone all the way in, but I've done it now. I basically just want to follow the line of the black liner and just do another wing on top. There we go. This is really nice and opaque. I used to think that opaque meant clear. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's definitely giving something. Let's do it on this eye. Oh, I can barely see, child. I've been really trying to just try and experiment with color. You may see my nails are really growing out, so I'm actually not going to show you, but my nails, my current nail set is like super bright and colorful. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it, And then I'm gonna put on these lashes from Pink's collection. I'm gonna leave the link in the description for you to check it out. They are super long, but super fluttery, and I feel like they would complement the look really nicely. Okay, y'all, I put on the lashes, and they are much longer than I actually remember, but this will do. I really can't wait to take these pictures. I'm loving it with like this hair. I don't know, there's something about it that's giving me retro but also giving me future. But yes, this is basically the look. I'm going to go and take some Instagram pictures now. I am probably going to go and change my top in order to take the Instagram pictures because there's already so much going on with the eyes that all this crisscross and stuff, yeah, unnecessary. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope the pictures turn out really nice and hopefully you go and like them over on Instagram. And yeah, if you have any thoughts on burnout and anything like that, please do let me know in the comment section down below. And also just how are you finding the year? What are your hopes for the rest of 2021? How are you, resetting your goals if you are, or if, Q1 and Q2 went amazingly? Let us celebrate you down in the comments. Just talk to me down below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely like it. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and turn on your notifications bell. But as always, beautiful people, I will talk to you very soon, and stay beautiful and stay blessed. Mwah.